How y'all doing? It's PawPaw again. And man alive, we're gonna make something that's so good. Oh, I want y'all to know I love these things. I had not been to Red Lobster, and I don't know. They come to town years and years and years ago, and I ate there like 4 days one week, and then that same week I took the wife and 3 kids to have a big old captain's platter each, and years ago it was $20 a plate. And when I went to pay them, I pulled my checkbook out. They said, "Sir, we don't accept checks in my small town." I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about? Here's my driver's license, you know, I live here, I own a business here, you know, we don't accept checks. Do you have any other means of payment?" And I said, "No." "Do you not have a credit card?" I said, "No, I ain't got no credit card." Didn't need no credit card, I got money. It's just sitting in the bank. "Well, we'll take your check this time." I said, "Oh, don't do me no favors. I'll be right back. I'll go to the ATM." So I left my wife and kids sitting there. While I was gone, my wife told this guy that was there training the folks, she said, "You got to understand," she says, "almost everybody in this town knows my husband. And he's insulted that y'all won't take his check because he's a business owner. And like I said, almost everybody knows him. He does a lot for the community." So now I don't normally keep a bunch of money in my checking account, okay? But I had sold a house. And the check had been deposited in that checking account that day. And I had not had time to transfer any funds out of it. And so I go to the ATM and I get some money and I go ahead and do an inquiry on my account. And I took the inquiry, the statement back with me whenever I paid the people. And I said, "Oh, by the way," I said, I pulled an inquiry on my account and it showed I had like $11,000 in a bank account. And like I said, I don't normally keep that kind of money on checking, but it was kind of funny. And I said, "You know, if I'd known y'all don't take checks, I wouldn't have tried to use a check." She said, "Well, we have a placard in the lobby." I said, "Where is it?" And looked, and they tried to show it to me. They looked for it. Finally, they found it laying face down in the corner of the dadgum lobby, like we're supposed to see that. So anyway, I told them, I said, "Don't worry, you'll never get another dime of my money, ever." And I never went back. But Veterans Day, they was giving veterans an appetizer or dessert, and I said, "Well, I can let bygones be bygones." And I went in there and I got me an appetizer. And I was telling the lady about it. I mean, I was starting to warm back up to them. They being nice to me, you know. They brought out 3 of them biscuits, you know, while I'm waiting on my appetizer. And, "Oh God, them biscuits are so good. Oh," and I said, "I got to learn to make them." And so here I was warming back up to these folks, you know. And then when I told the assistant manager the story about what had happened, she said, "That couldn't have been here. We've always taken checks." And I said, "No, you haven't." "Oh, yes, we have. I've been here almost since this store opened." And I said, "Well, let me tell you one damn thing, lady. The first week this store opened, you didn't accept them." So daggum woman trying to get hoity with me again, or another person representing Red Lobster, get all kinds of hoity-toity with me. They can kiss my big white butt. Oh, but I still like them Red Lobster biscuits. So I've learned to make them. And y'all stay tuned, because we're going to make these suckers. They good. Well folks, one of the first things we got to do is we got to make sure we got buttermilk. And when I went to the grocery store the day before Thanksgiving, there wasn't a jug of buttermilk to be found. But you can make your own buttermilk by adding 2 tablespoons of white vinegar or 2 tablespoons of lemon juice to a cup of milk. And it'll do what it needs to do to make it into buttermilk. So that's what we're going to do. I have some, and another thing is I go in there in the store and it says fat-free buttermilk, and I'm going like, well, ain't buttermilk supposed to have butter fat in it? I don't know. I don't like, I've never drank buttermilk. I don't know. It's not one of my things I do. But I said, I don't know if I want to put vinegar in the milk or if I want to use lemon juice. And I got to think, you know, lemon, if there's the slightest hint of that citrus flavor, it might just make these biscuits that much brighter. So I'm going to put a little bit of lemon juice in this milk. It says 2 tablespoons or 2 teaspoons, I don't know what it is. I'm going to put a little bit in there. This is 2/3 of a cup of milk I've got here. And most recipes you'll see when it comes to making these biscuits, they call for Bisquick. Well, I ain't buying Bisquick when I can make my own. Let me get a, oh right there's a spoon, I can stir it up with that. Oh my God, that lemon juice has really thickened up that milk. Whew. Okay. Anyway, you can make your own Bisquick, and you can go online to see how it's done. But basically what you're going to do, what we're going to do here today, is we're going to take a couple of cups of flour. Oh man, just a little shy. Gotta open up that other bag to get me some. Anyway, I'm just like, why should I buy Bisquick? I mean, you're just talking about flour and shortening, you know, maybe a little salt or something. And I use self-rising flour. I don't buy baking powder or baking soda. I use self-rising flour. Heck, it's the same price and it's already mixed in there for you. So I like doing it cheap. So, self-rising flour, same price as all-purpose flour. Come on, get in there. Close enough. All right. So we got a couple of cups of flour, and I'm going to take some butter. Real butter now. Don't be buying margarine, and don't be buying shortening. If you're going to cook with something, use lard or use butter. Use these natural products. That's what makes it good. Shoot, that gum shortening full of preservatives and stuff. Stuff's liable to kill you. Well, we're going to use a little more than a half a stick of butter. We're going to use about 2/3 of a stick. I like it. I like it. And I bought me one of these fancy handy dandy pastry cutters. We're going to see how well this thing works. Couldn't find one that had blades. This has got the wires. But the idea behind this is you want to cut your butter into your flour. You don't want it to mash down into, well, you don't want it, what am I trying to say? We don't want it creamy like oil. We want it little specks, little crumbs, so that as they melt, when you're making your biscuits, as the butter melts, what it does then is it leaves air pockets, and that's what makes them biscuits airy and light. So I'm going to fast forward the camera now, because this is going to take a few minutes to do this. Okay, now what you're after is a crumbly mix, okay? And by the way, just so you know, this is the same way Hardee's makes their biscuits. They cut the shortening or the lard or the butter into the flour so that as it melts, as the biscuits are rising, it's what makes them light and airy. So Hardee's does their biscuits the same way. Now then, we're going to add this 2/3 a cup of buttermilk, and I wish, it's kind of hard for y'all to tell, but man, that has really thickened that milk up. Yeah. Can't imagine drinking buttermilk. And I know there's a bunch of you out there, oh, Paw, you need to drink buttermilk, good for you. Well, you can just keep your buttermilk. Thank you, no problem. And then we're going to add in here a 1/2 cup of cheese. Get this mixed in good. Got us a nice dough ball going there. Oh yeah. You don't want to overwork it because you don't want to make it tough. All right. Now I have an ungreased cookie sheet because we're going to be putting plenty of grease to it when we put this biscuit mix down, because it's full of cheese. And we need a 1/2 cup of cheese. And that looks like about a 1/2 cup, thereabouts. Close enough for me. I like them cheesy biscuits. Man, they're good. And these are designed to be what they call drop biscuits. In other words, we're not supposed to cut them with a biscuit cutter or glass or whatever. We're just supposed to form them into a rough ball and just drop them on the pan and let them run out and rise on their own. Now the oven is preheated to 450 degrees. And I'm going to let these biscuits, after I put them on the cookie sheet, I'm going to let them rise a little bit. I want to give that rising agent in that flour an opportunity to get these biscuits to swell up a little bit, because the more they rise, the lighter they are. Aha! Now, one thing I'm doing different than you'll see in any recipe is I'm adding minced garlic to mine. You do not have to do this, okay? You do not have to do this. I do it just because I like the taste of garlic. And I'm adding me a teaspoon of garlic into this. Minced garlic. We'll also be melting a little butter and a little garlic powder to sprinkle over the top of them, or put over the top of them whenever they come out of the oven. But I really like this minced garlic. It gives it a nice flavor. The little pieces of garlic brown in the dough. It looks good, tastes good, is good. All right. And that was just enough moisture for me to make it all sticky. I could add a little flour to that, I guess. Just so my fingers ain't so sticky. All right. So, I don't know if you can see yeah, you can see that. So I'm just going to take, I'm not worried about the shape of these much. I'm just putting them out there on the pan. I'm grabbing about a golf ball size. That's golf ball, maybe a little smaller. Nothing picky here. If it's a bigger piece, you have a bigger biscuit. If it's smaller, you have a smaller biscuit. It ain't no big deal. People seem to get so worried about everything being perfect. Enjoy your cooking. Relax. You're creating. When you're in the kitchen, you're creating something. And if you enjoy it, if it tastes good to you, that's all that matters. Like so many people are so worried about it, they might make a mistake. If you make a mistake, so what? You learn from it. Heck, we wouldn't know anything about cooking today if a caveman hadn't made a mistake. He had a fire going and he was eating the meat raw, accidentally dropped it in the fire. The fire singed it and cooked it, and he ate it, and he said, man, that's good. And cooking was invented. So, it could be a good accident. I remember I used to do magic, and one of the greatest magic tricks in the world is when you just have an accident and it works out perfect. I had this one of the things I would do just for messing around is, have somebody draw a card, and just for the heck of it, while I'm talking, I just show them a card. Was that your card? Just checking. And of course, no, it wasn't. I said, that's all right, I was just checking. And I actually did that one time. Was that your card? Yes. I thought so. And it was just like I was the greatest magician in the world. And I mean, I'm just sitting there and all of a sudden there's their card. They just thought I was something else. Pure accident. But it looked good. All right, well, we're getting, looks like 8, 11, 14 biscuits of various sizes here. And like I said, I'm going to let these set. I'm going to let these rise up a little bit. We're going to melt a couple of tablespoons of butter. And, let me see how much. Probably about a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Maybe a little more. And I'll just melt that in the microwave because it's convenient. And that is what I will spoon over the top of these biscuits when they're done. Yeah. We'll be back. All right. They have come out of the oven. Add a little splash of garlic butter on them. All right. Gotta get a spatula, pop them loose off that cookie sheet. Whoop. Oh, people, we have success. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're good. Mm. Mm. Oh. Mm. 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 Good biscuits. Well, folks, I'll put the recipe or my list of ingredients at the end of this video. Oh, these are so good. Y'all have a Merry Christmas. A Happy New Year. Have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Oh, so good. Mm.